Ben Zammit at fullback, Matt Daylight, Dion Bird, Steve Collins and Brian Carney, the Irish international, on this St. Patrick's Day. He's on the wing to complete the three-quarter line. It's Will Robinson and Richard Horne. Robinson will lead the team out, but Tony Grimaldi, you will see later, is on the bench. He is the club captain. Broadbent, Jenkins, Hick, Felsh, Marr and Maiden at loose forward. And then on the bench, Simon, Jean, Grimaldi the skipper. He will be the captain on the field when he gets on. Wayne MacDonald completes the lineup, coaches Sean McRae. Now then, the Saints. Wellens is the fullback. Smith, Iro, Newlove. He missed the Bradford game, but he's back alongside Anthony Sullivan. Tommy Martin is back alongside Sean Long. Darryl Trindle is injured. And the forwards, O'Neill, Cunningham and Nicol. Joint the captain, Tuilangi and Sculthorpe. And the bench occupied tonight by Perolini, Hoppy, Matautia back in the fold, and John Stankiewicz, the young 20-year-old second-row forward. The coach is Ian Millwood in his first match in charge. Hull in the famous black and white. They beat Wigan 14-4 here last Saturday, the first time in 12 years that Wigan had failed to cross for a try in Challenge Cup football. These supporters were very appreciative of the defence. And there's the black and white knight, Boris, the black and white knight, who is the Hull FC mascot in Super League 5. These Hull supporters know that they have maybe got something very promising bubbling in this part of the world. But Chris Joint knows that the Saints won here 30 points to 10 last April and inflicted a club record defeat on Hull, 74-16, at Knowsley Road last July. Wonder what thoughts are going through these players' minds as they leave that dressing room, knowing that tonight a brand new coach is sitting in the stands and assessing their performance. Chris Joint leads his men onto the field then. Change strip tonight, blue and white for St Helens. The black and white, the traditional black and white for the men of Hull. They lost at Halifax on the opening night 2 weeks ago, 27 points to 30, beaten on the bell. The same time, of course, Saints were losing heavily to the Bradford Bulls, and that turned out to be Ellery Hanley's last match in charge. They've recruited well, though. Some good new signings coming into the team that fitted into the Gateshead form of things last year. Men like Wayne MacDonald, Stanley Jean, two men who were waiting their chance on the bench. And of course Paul Broadbent, the Great Britain international. And out they come. And what a reception for them after their deeds of daring do last Saturday against the Wigan Warriors. You get the feeling, Steve-O, that something is bubbling away here on Humberside. Boris thinks so.
Boris has got it right. You can cut the tension with a knife, and there is the man responsible. Vice-captain Will Robinson, of course, will be the skipper until the club captain, Tony Grimaldi, comes off the bench. And we saw last week the skills of this standoff, Will Robinson. What a great contest it will be against Tommy Martin. Ian Millwood looking quite nervous, not surprisingly. It is a big step up for this guy. A lot of people in Australia have always said that one day he would make it to the top. He certainly has got the opportunity now. And can he emulate this fellow, Sean McRae?
Match referee is Stuart Cummings. Just checks his watches, checks with his touch judges. We're about to get underway here at the Boulevard. Perfectly still night. Beautiful evening for top-class rugby league football, and I'm sure that that's exactly what we're going to get over the next 80 minutes. It's Julian O'Neill for St Helens who takes the first tackle of this match. Kieran Cunningham at dummy half, and Newlove, his first touch in Super League 5.
Well, the foundation for Hull last week was definitely their defence, especially the hooker Mick Jenkins. What a first 40 minutes he had. He tackled himself to a standstill, and they need to emulate that, they have got to make sure the defence is there. St Helens have a very, very big and fast three-quarter line.
Long with the first kick, just inside his own half of the field. Turns it across to the far side. Daylight is after it, and Daylight got a hand to it, but he forced the ball into touch, and he knows he's come up with a big blunder there.
Well, just lost concentration. Must have lost it in the lights, and it's always difficult. They're not the highest lights here at the Boulevard, but that is no excuse, and Matt Daylight knows it. It's given side under pressure.
It has. He's given Saints a golden opportunity. Here goes Iro, and Iro, if he'd have released the pass, maybe, but they're not done. They're in. First try of the match. Paul Wellens, the young full-back, chiming in. It's gone suddenly very quiet here at the Boulevard. What a start from Ian Millwood. Hull haven't touched the ball yet. Saints have the first try, and Paul Wellens is the scorer.
It all came about by the mistake from Matt Daylight, and from this scrum, St Helens launched the big fella. In and out from Iro. Robinson got to him, desperate tackle, but they were short on numbers on the blind side. Good work by the fullback Paul Wellens. This is a bad mistake from Daylight. You could see him look in anguish there. What on earth has he done? I tell you what he's done. He's put the Boulevard crowd to silence. Wellens, well taken. On the blind side, they knew that Hull were going to be caught short, and the young full-back has given St Helens a magnificent start.
And can Sean Long add the extras? Just the one goal against Bradford 2 weeks ago, and sliding it closer and closer and getting it over. Wonderful start for St Helens. Hull 0, St Helens 6, just the start Ian Millwood wanted. Not so for Sean McRae.
That's what happens when you get a scrambling defence. They were desperate to get out wide. It was open right on the blind side. Wellens easy for 4. Iro made the break. There's the guy that got the first one.
Well, Ben Samet is the only Hull man to have touched the football so far. That's the second kick-off. 3 minutes on the watch. St Helens have got the first points of the night. They lead 6-0. That will do their confidence the power of good. This is Sonny Nicol, and Adam Marr was in there quickly, along with young Richard Horne. Again, the drive in from Paul Sculthorpe. Quick play the ball. Cunningham will scamper forward once more.
What a great boost, though. It's the start that any side would want to impress upon their new coach, Ian Millwood. Pressure for Sean McRae and the boys.
Tony Anderson, his assistant, alongside him. That kick, though, charged down. Here's an opportunity. Wellens, a foot race. The ball's bounced clear, and Wellens has got it back. And that's going to be 6 more tackles for St Helens.
He did well there, did the fullback Paul Wellens. When you're both chasing for the ball, it gets ricocheted away. You can use the shoulder charge, and watch he does this. When you're both running in the same direction for a loose ball like that, you are allowed to use your shoulder, and he did it effectively enough to make sure that he got back and took the football.
David Maiden was hunting the opportunity for Hull, but it's St Helens again who are in possession, and they're flinging this ball around with gay abandon. Saints. This is to Ilangi. Back it goes to Long. Deep kick again from Long, and this is, well, I was going to say the first touch of the football in hand for Hull. It is now with Brian Carney, the Irish international. Had a wow of a game against Wigan last week.
Well, it was a case there. Daylight came up with a mistake, and Brian Carney nearly came up with one. Ooh, that was a head shot. Pressure for both wingers. Cunningham got a real good hit on Ben Samet, the full-back.
So it's Hull in possession for the first time, 4 3/4 minutes. And here they come forward with Broadbent.
It's important now that Hull just settle things down. Okay, it's a great start for the St Helens side, but they've got to get back down to basics, make sure they complete their sets of 6, and try to get some control in this game.
Jenkins with the deep kick over the top of the St Helens last line of defence, but it's too deep. It runs dead in goal. Mick Jenkins.
Well, the hooker won't like that. Not the best kick, and a little bit at 6s and 7s at the moment. The boys from the Boulevard.
Well, let's go downstairs, pay the first visit of the evening to the pitch side. Here's Bill Arthur.
Thanks, Eddie. Just a quick word on Saints' Paul Sculthorpe. There's probably a lot of tension there in the Saints side, but even more so on the shoulders of Paul Sculthorpe, because earlier on today his partner Lindsay McCulloch went into hospital in labour, and Paul was at her bedside, had to be dragged away so he could come and play in this match, and certainly we'll be hoping for news from Oldham Royal Hospital that he's a proud father.
Let's hope so. In the meantime, Jenkins, and then the second man in, the flop, and it was Adam Marr who dropped on the grounded St Helens player.
Wasted effort there by the second rower.
Jenkins made the initial tackle.
Already done the hard work. And they are somewhat confused, but you've got to be impressed with the way that St Helens are keeping this ball alive.
And here they come again. This is Tommy Martin. He offloads it to Newlove. Newlove is hauled to ground by Will Robinson. Cunningham gets it away. Here now O'Neill once more. Good offloading from the prop forward. St Helens will start again down the right-hand side. This is Nicol. Scrambling defence though. Felsh in there Andrew Hick rather in there very, very quickly. But Tuilangi, strength and speed to burn.
Good tackle by the prop forward Andrew Hick, it had to be, but St Helens are keeping the ball alive.
Martin is looking for a gap, and he's just collared and scrapped to the floor. Still a couple of tackles in the bag. This is Newlove. Oh, the referee's whistle sounds.
Well, I'm not so sure what that's for. Oh, I think that the man who played the ball interfered with the marker. It was a bad pass anyway. You'll see that the marker then pushes forward. Not allowed to do that. Tommy Martin quite openly went for the man after he played it. See how he moved off the mark? Good refereeing there by Stuart Cummins.
Martin penalised. It puts Hull back in possession. Carney gets to his feet and plays it. Good defence from Chris Joint. Zammit, he then plays it. Jenkins, now this is Broadbent. Off the middle he goes, but St Helens are caught offside. Referee allowed the advantage to see what might develop for Hull. Nothing did. Penalty given. They've taken it quickly. And here they come again. But that's good defence from Paul Newlove. Completely wrapped up the man in possession of the football. It was David Maiden. Now here's Carney again, the Irish international winger. Big hit by Tuilangi, but he still managed to get the ball away.
Crowd didn't like that attempt on the fullback Ben Samet. Looked a little bit high. Well, there you see the possession. It's
first time Hull are in the St Helens half of the field with ball in hand. Jenkins clapping his hand, gets it away now to big Luke Felsh. He led the Gateshead pack magnificently last year, did Luke Felsh. Robinson looking to open them up, takes the return pass. Iro's after him, gets the tackle in.
Good play by the youngster Richard Horne there. Took the step, but also offloaded to his halfback partner Robinson.
Neat kick from Jenkins, is it? Palm back on the inside. Keep it going. Maiden with the kick. It just goes touch and go.
Desperation in the end, but look at the skills of this youngster. Oh, that is quite superb. See how he just sucked in. The defenders just offloaded. Desperation in the end from Hull, but that passage of play will have just settled them down. They needed it. St Helens were running riot.
Here's the father-to-be in the St Helens lineup, Paul Sculthorpe. Cunningham to Long then to Newlove, and I must say Newlove looks pretty enthusiastic here. Martin, O'Neill to trundle it forward again. Jenkins, good tackle low down.
Interesting to see how Hull, they're using their loose forward David Maiden out wide in the centres to make sure that the defensive qualities, so they can try to keep down the two big centres, Kevin Iro and Paul Newlove, who at the moment have created a lot of problems for Hull's defence.
That was a difficult ball for Ben Zammit to pick up, but he did so and then collected the tackle from St Helens captain Chris Joint. And Hull having a lot of difficulty here getting the ball out of their own half of the field. St Helens swarming around them. Horne offloads the pass. Little break on there, almost. Daylight was nearly away. This is Felsh.
Good play, very constructive, back on the inside. All brought about by a good run from Matt Daylight.
Kick over the top is from Horn, collected by Wellens. Good chase on, led by the youngster and helped out by Dion Bird.
But equal to the task, Paul Wellens. Wonderful positioning there by the fullback. Anticipated the chip over, took it on the full. It's only when it bounces you can get yourself into a lot of trouble.
He's no stranger to the fullback berth, as we mentioned last week. Before the match, rather, Paul Wellens. He won an academy cap in that position against France in 1998.
He's a talented young player, great utility man to have around, and I'm sure that we'll see a lot of him. Ian Millwood, the new coach, surely must have been impressed with the way that he linked and scored that first try.
Hooker and scrum half this season also. That's a wild pass from Sean Long. Martin is under pressure. The ball eventually finds its way into touch.
That'll be the handover. It was on the last.
It will, and it's inside St Helens territory.
Well, that's the sort of terrier-like defence that was so prominent last week in their win over Wigan. And really, Sean McRae will be just ruining the fact that that big mistake by Matt Daylight, where he took the ball into touch from the scrum. Saints scored the first try.
Tall figure of Andrew Hick missed the Wigan win. Unlucky with injuries last year. Robinson linking up well with Broadbent, but the referee not happy with that challenge.
Well, he launches himself, doesn't he? But
wasn't the first one from Tuilangi, it was the second one from Sculthorpe.
It's all right from Tuilangi. Well, I'm not so sure that it was a big swinging arm. It was more of a grab by Sculthorpe, but he's a bit bemused by it all. Stuart Cummins, though, makes sure that no high shots will be allowed, rightly so, in the end.
Well, it allows Ben Zammit the opportunity to kick for goal from this penalty and just get Hull's scoreboard moving.
More than that, Eddie, it's just the fact that just to slow this game down, because St Helens, they really have come out with all the guns blazing. They've kept the ball alive. Sean McRae looks on with interest. He knows that he can't afford to come up with those vital mistakes.
Well, he also knows that St Helens will try, if they can, to run Hull off the park early on. He knows all there is to know about St Helens. This is Zammit, though, with the first kick from him of the evening. 3 goals from 3 against Wigan, and 1 from 1 so far tonight. Zammit gets Hull ticking along. Hull 2, St Helens 6 here at the Boulevard. Something for the crowd to shout about.
Well, they've just shoved the old wheel, haven't they? They've stopped the cogs moving for a moment, St Helens.
Well, Hull have not beaten St Helens since 1993. 2 Aussies, James Grant and Des Hasler, got a couple of tries apiece. That's Brian Carney, who has been fooled and foxed and bamboozled again. He got a touch to it. The ball goes out. Doesn't matter one way or the other. He certainly couldn't get hold of the football. Anyway, it's a goal line dropout. More pressure on the way for Hull.
Well, they're becoming their own worst enemies, I'm afraid. And yet those errors that we keep highlighting, and that's not the best drop kick out. Gone 35 metres, that's all.
And straight into the arms of Paul Mueller. Maiden in very strongly. Robinson and Maiden again. Cunningham is the dummy half. There's Martin, spreads it to Long. Long looks for the runners. It was Nicol. Good defence from Horn and Broadbent, was it? No, it wasn't. It was Adam Marr. That was Jenkins with that tackle on Tuilangi. This is Cunningham. Cunningham looking to pinch one himself. Hull are there in numbers. Iro into the arms of Long, and Long will stab it to, looking for Tommy Martin. Oh, he didn't need Martin, he's got Wellens. Wellens has got his second try. It's not given yet. Referee wants to check whether Paul Wellens is onside or not. He was looking for Martin, and Wellens snuck up on the blind side and took this. Now, was he onside?
I think he was. It was a beautiful kick. Well weighted by Long. That's fine. This will be try number 2. You can see that every St Helens player was behind the kicker. This will be TRY time. Beautifully weighted kick. The halfback knew exactly what was happening. You can see how the whole sliding defence is tight. And there's only one way to beat that sliding defence, and that's utilise the short kick to perfection. And that is what Saints have done. This will be his second try.
Let's see. Yes, the video referee concurs. Paul Wellens gets his second of the night. St Helens are ahead by 10 points to 2. Kick to come from Sean Long. Great speed from young Paul Wellens there.
Well, again, they have picked off a mistake from Hull, and they have come up trumps yet again. Superb bit of rugby league football. As I mentioned, the most ideal way to break down any sliding tight defence like that is to use the cross kick. And there's none better at doing that than this fella, who wants to add the extra 2.
Much easier kick this time, and no problems for Sean Long. Hull 2, St Helens 12. The Saints off to a flyer, and the events of 6 days ago are forgotten for the time being here at the Boulevard.
There you see the tight defence. There's 6 players in there. Beautiful weighted kick. That is absolutely superb. Martin was there, but Wellens said, I'm getting number 2. Well, we showered him with the accolades, and rightly so. What a start.
Here's Anthony Sullivan, who began his career not far from this particular ground at Hull Kingston Rovers. And of course the son of a very, very famous Hull father. Tuilangi loses it. Horn has it back for Hull. Well, this is the first real opportunity for Hull. Tuilangi under pressure from Dion Bird.
Just a little bit too short and high, coming off the shoulder. But they are becoming extremely adventurous, St Helens.
Andrew Hick plays it. Jenkins tries to steal a march. O'Neill drags him down, but Hull inching towards that St Helens line. Broadbent linking up well with Robinson, but Joint was in there very quickly to smother the danger. The crowd unhappy with the challenge, but referee Stuart Cummings said it was okay. Great tackle from Newlove on the big number 12, Luke Felch.
And Felch felt that one. That is for sure. Oh, good charge now.
It's going to be 6 to go for Hull. They have it back here with David Maiden. 6 more tackles then. Jenkins, the dummy half. Robinson looking for something, some key to unlock this St Helens defence. That's why they have 6 to go.
That's where they went back for the 6 and or neat pass. But again, this defence, Sculthorpe is putting himself around. Solid defence from the Saints. Not the best pass.
Andrew Hick picks it up on the bounce.
Ooh, he nearly tried to get that away. He was lucky that it hit Martin's body. He was trying to offload then.
Zammert gets the pass away to Felch. Breaking through here. Opportunities.
Why did he hesitate?
Maiden doesn't. He's gone for it. Maiden. The referee says he's held up. Paul Wellens looked at Stuart Cummings and simply shook his head. Said no try. And Stuart Cummings didn't even bother going to the video referee.
Well, he goes pretty close. It's on the last one. That's a changeover, but that really did surprise me. They put the brakes on when really he made the break. He really should have gone for it. Great handoff from the big fella at Iro.
And here now is Chris Smith. He's had to go backwards before he comes forwards, but saw a little gap and went for it. Andrew Hick coming in a little late with the flop. Not penalised though. And here goes Paul Wellens. He's on a hat-trick. Hauled down by Luke Felch. 40-metre line. Joint, the St Helens captain, flicks the ball away. Sullivan trying to go out the outside. Carney did well. Carney got the tackle in. Cunningham is the dummy half. Here's Sean Long. Long on to Martin. And Martin puts the kick in over the top of Zammert. It bounces and skips away. This is very, very hard pitch here at the Humberside ground of the Boulevard tonight. It's quite firm underfoot. But the ball hit the middle of the post and came back, and Zammert retains possession or regains possession for his club. This is terrific tackling from St Helens, Steve-O.
Unbelievable. They really are putting themselves around. There was always going to be the doubt that would there be a bit of a backlash at losing their coach. Remember, they are the champions.
Well, they were stung, weren't they, after that grand final repeat defeat by the Bradford Bulls at Knowsley Road a fortnight ago. Ellery Hanley's last match in charge, as it turned out. And here maybe to silence a critic or two. He went for the 40-20 then, and it went to around about 25, 26 metres away. So it will be head and feet here to the Saints. Robinson's kick.
Just relieves the pressure. Standoff Will Robinson. As you can see, it takes a wicked bounce to the left. No one could get anywhere near it. Well, this is the opportunity. Maiden, it was a beautiful pass, wasn't it? But why on earth they didn't go for it?
Collins was so close.
He really should have gone for it, Eddie. I can't believe it. He put the brakes on as soon as he made the break.
Good run from Iro. Careless pass, no knock on. Chris Joint pulled his hands away at just the right moment. Newlove will scamper down the short side. He'll take them on. He'll get them over the halfway line again. Sullivan gets it away to Long. Long then to Martin. Martin steps inside. Great tackle. Martin was looking to offload. He's lost that. Knock on. Never had the ball under control. It was well stripped away there.
Well, Robinson did everything within his power to get that ball away. And then right at the very end, it appears that Tommy Martin just lost control of it. But you just sense that this combination between Sean Long and Tommy Martin is growing in stature. The confidence is there, you can see it.
Well, they know each other, don't they? Inside and out.
Well, they've been the architect of so many successes in the past for the St Helens side.
It would have been a highly interesting selection dilemma had Darryl Trindle been available, because Ian Millwood wanted Tommy Martin to join him at Lee before he moved to St Helens himself. So he's obviously a fan of Tommy Martin.
Well, we said before the kick-off, the opportunity now is certainly his. Oh, great defence. Cunningham. Solid as a rock. Bang! Straight into it.
He waited for him then, didn't he? That's a high kick. Wellens underneath it. Safe in defence. He's been big in attack. Bird's after him. Dion Bird gets the tackle in.
Well, he stood like a giant in defence too. His positional play is quite outstanding. Reading the game all the time. It's so good to see so many of these youngsters, not only just with individual skills like stepping and passing, but to read the game so professionally, to put themselves in a position to take that kick. Is that a fine match?
So far, 22.5 minutes gone. St Helens ahead 12-2 in possession with Paul Sculthorpe. That's the last tackle, says Stuart Cummings, the match referee. Cunningham at dummy half. Tuilangi. Little dab over the top from Tuilangi. Inventive play from the second row. The ball went back, and Hull have got it in the shape of Zammit.
Well, I think Tuilangi was a bit surprised. It's a little chip over. I think he was surprised that he wasn't pulled back for a forward pass. It was a very delayed offload.
Here's Carney. What about the push as well from Tuilangi? Carney tried to offload and gave it straight to Cunningham. Oh, Cunningham gets inside to Nicholl. Nicholl's knocked on. Little catalogue of errors there from both sides.
Well, the winger made the opportunity. Not the best pass. Really was a panic pass inside to the loose forward David Maiden.
He got away with it though, didn't he, thanks to Sonny Nicholl. Well, that could have been another expensive mistake for Hull. As it is, they have the put in at this scrum. Horn gets it away to Will Robinson, and Robinson saw a little gap and he's gone for it. Iro swatted him, pulled him down with help from Wellens. Dion Bird at dummy half. Mick Jenkins now will scamper forward. Hull within 20 metres of the St Helens line. Robinson at dummy half. The big runner is Broadbent, taking on Nicholl and company. To within 10 metres of the line. Robinson back to Richard Horn. Horn drops a shoulder. Brilliant! Oh, he just dropped the football. About to say brilliant from Horn.
He tried to flick it back on the inside. He just couldn't get the power.
Oh, the referee's gone for the screen here.
Well, he has to. It could have come off a St Helens player. He's got to find out whether the pass from Horn went backwards or not.
St Helens believed that it had. That's why they messed around and dillied and dallied.
Well, you see the skills, and he tries to flick it. It goes backwards. It comes off the knee. Well, St Helens have just hung around.
Cunningham,
he puts it. This is going to be TRY.
This could be a huge blunder.
If the ball goes back, it does go back. Now then, does it come off the knee? It does. It's going forward. He did not get a hand to it. Look at the beautiful step there. That would have been a try if he could have just got a little bit up on the top. Now they're checking to see whether he had a fingertip to it. Back inside, I think it's Luke Felsh. This is what they're looking for. Did it hit the finger? No. Didn't get a fingertip to it. He was on an onside situation. I think this will be a try, but what a big mistake there from the hooker, Kieran Cunningham. Lackadaisical. And I think this is going to be TRY. No problem with the grounding.
Was there a problem with the grounding?
No. I think he had full control, and I think Robinson will get the first whole try. TRY for mine.
And TRY, says the video ref, after a long, hard look. And Mick Jenkins didn't give it up. St Helens did. And Jenkins gets Hull rolling.
Well, we talked about the skills of this youngster, and that certainly was. He set up joint back on the inside. Never say die from Robinson. And Ian Millwood, the new coach, will have plenty to say about this. Good video refereeing, it certainly went back. And look at the hooker, Kieran Cunningham. Oh well, knock on anyway, and he has been caught. There'll be a few choice words said by Ian Millwood, I am sure about that. You cannot go into easy mode. Not at the Boulevard, not these days.
Zammit from bang in front doesn't make any mistake. Suddenly there's one or two smiles on the faces here at the Boulevard. Hull are back in the hunt in a match that was slipping away from them. Hull 8, St Helens 12, and St Helens paying for some slack defence. The ball's come back inside, has it? No, the referee's whistle has sounded. Was it out on the full? What happened there?
Yep, on the line, and that's out.
If that was in play, this team we were out of play. It's out on the full. Right, so it's a penalty back in the centre.
So there'll be a penalty on the halfway line in the centre.
To Hull.
On the line is always on the outer. That's why you can score a try on the whitewash. Well, the crowd for the first time at the Boulevard. You can hear the throbbing in the Threepney stand here. For the first time, they really have got behind their charges. At a time when it looked like St Helens was totally controlling this match, and they were.
Hick gets to his feet, plays the ball. This now is Broadbent. Double change by Ian Millwood. Perolini, Matauti on. Horn to Robinson. Robinson out wide it goes. Maiden! Maiden's going to get in! No, he isn't. Just held up short. Desperate last line of defence for St Helens. But if they can stretch it, they're in a bit of trouble here, Saints in defence. Now they're not. Matauti has intercepted it. Well, Sean McRae and Ian Millwood will be pulling their hair out at the moment.
Well, it was a beautiful move on Robinson. They used a dummy runner back on the inside, and then he swept around in Maiden. And just trying to force a pass a little bit too much from the youngster Richard Horn. But let's not say that this guy is not trying to do anything, because he really will put himself about. It was from his enthusiastic pass on the inside. All right, it went to ground, but it produced a try that Hull needed.
Mick Jenkins is out of the defensive line at the moment. And Chris Joint trying to exploit the gap that might be there.
That'll be a bad loss if Jenkins is out.
It's the last tackle, this. He is long. He'll put boot to ball. Will he? No, he's going to run it. He's taking them on at the middle. Wonderful run. Support from Martin, but Martin put the ball down. It was up around his neck, to be fair. But this Long and Martin combination causing Hull one or two problems.
Okay, hold there.
Opportunity was there. Just took his eye off the ball there for a split second, did Tommy Martin, and Hull can thank their lucky stars on that. The second rower, Luke Fell, she was also down. So they were virtually down to 11 men, of course, with the hooker Mick Jenkins receiving treatment. He was groggy.
Stanley Jean is on the field, the Papua New Guinean international. That is Luke Fels, who tried to spin away from the would-be tacklers. Martin, Joint and Matautia in there quickly. This now is Zammit, who's joined the line.
Good job that Joint got there. He was halfway through. Well, the solid... Oh, I was just about to say the solid St. Helens defence is getting a bit lax, but not on that occasion.
Andrew Hick.
That was a big hit. He's going to lose that. He did well there to get it back. That's play on. Good refereeing.
Here's Perolini. Well, take your eyes off this game at your peril. Being played at terrific pace, with great spirit. Newlove's grounded, right on halfway. Sullivan's the dummy half. Cunningham, on it goes to Matautia. Tucks the ball under his arm, drives it in again. Broadbent was there, the first man to him. Here's Martin, looks right and finds Long. Long
was forward.
It was forward anyway, and Scothorpe has dropped it. Dion Bird has swooped on it.
Well, the crowd expecting a flop there, but there was only one man on it. He wasn't tackled.
Dion Bird didn't like the attention he received from Tommy Martin either.
He was allowed to do it.
Broadbent.
Forward progress has not been stopped.
But he wasn't tackled.
Precisely.
Jean.
Don't tell me you're agreeing with me so early in the season.
For once.
Back to 6.
It is. Newlove rather got a hand to that. So 6 to go here for Hull. In possession with Felsh. He plays it to Stanley Jean, a hero on one side of Humberside. Now making a name for himself in the black and white of Hull. Horn again, but the tall figure, commanding figure of Hiro was there as Horn received the football. Dion Bird is in a dummy half. Passes the ball inside to Andrew Hick. Low-flying aircraft, and his name was Cunningham. Robinson. Maiden. Back to nobody in particular. Robinson picks up the pieces again. Good ball. And again, Hull throwing this ball around with terrific spirit. Carney.
Beautiful work by the centre, Steve Collins. The inside pass was superb.
Bullet pass to Robinson. Robinson to Stanley Jean. He goes down on the last tackle. They're 3 meters short of the line, Hull. Here's Robinson again. Kick to the corner. It bounces down. It's going to be a try. Bird has scored, I think. The ball went back.
You'll go to the screen on this one.
Ball went back anyway, whether it came off Saints or it came off Hull. The ball went backwards and Bird has picked up a try. That's the way I read it. I wonder what the video ref says.
Beautiful place, kick by Robinson.
They're also looking for offside, by the way, on the kick.
There's Robinson there. You can just see out wide. Oh, it's a tight one. This is going to be extremely tight. I think perhaps he's okay, mainly due to the fact you can't see any shadow, but there's the winger way out, daylight. They both jump for it. Robinson is right on the line, well, maybe just a couple of inches over. Really, they're going to have to look at the shadows from the floodlights. See the crisscross there. And this perhaps is going to be a difficult one. I'd give him benefit of the doubt, perhaps half a metre in front there. And the winger, of course, would be moving fast. That's why they're out there in the first place. Could have been a prop forward, perhaps you might think it's somewhat dubious.
Well, it's a highly difficult decision again for the video referee.
They earn their corn these days, don't they, these video referee fellas?
No doubt the ball went backwards after that. Bird then dropped on it.
I'll
Is
go
it a
for
try?
TRY.
Is it a try or not? It's a no try. He was adjudged to be offside. Dion Bird shakes his head. He was adjudged to be Well, it must have been half a metre, no more, in front of the kicker Robinson.
Maybe the fact that Matt Daylight was in a...
I don't think it was Bird who was offside, Steve. I think
No, Bird, it was Daylight.
Daylight was offside.
No doubt about it that it was Daylight they were looking at. And I suppose when you look at the end-on shot that we've just witnessed there, he wasn't running forward, Daylight. He was actually stood still. So perhaps it sneaked half a metre. Big call, though.
It was. I wonder whether Saints have played the get-out-of-jail card in that moment. This is Chris Smith. Fairly quiet is Chris Smith, but gets to the 40-metre line. Another change. Big Wayne McDonald has come on. Won't miss him. This is Joint. Thought about offloading to Cunningham, who was coming up on his inside. Took the tackle from Maiden. Here's Martin, left foot into open space. Daylight's after this. Daylight has run it out again.
He's having a nightmare.
I was going to say, he's having an absolute nightmare over on that far side, collecting these kicks.
Oops, and bumpsy daisy. Well, we thought it would be Chris Smith that would be getting the pressure applied, but it's this fella, Matt Daylight, the villain over the past 60 seconds, adjudged to be offside, and St Helens, can they launch now?
Well, it's with Matautia, now it's with Cunningham, and here goes Joint. Wouldn't it be ironic if St Helens got over for a try here after that no-try decision from the video referee? That's what they're trying to do. Newlove keeps the ball alive, back in field it comes, and St Helens in possession again with young Wellens, who is desperate for this hat-trick. Cunningham. Long onto Martin. Martin, oh, that's a slack pass.
No, it's back to 6. It came off a whole finger.
Yes,
that'll be back to 6. Definitely a hold. Now there's got to give a penalty. There's little doubt in my mind that the fingertip.
Well, Daylight claims he's pinched the ball, and he claims the tackle wasn't complete, but Stuart Cummings saw it another way. Penalty to St Helens.
Well, he's of the opinion that Sean Long had his progress halted.
Well, there's 2 footballs on the field now. That was Iro with the one that counts, and he's given it to Smith. This is a bruising match. Nickel, Martin, Long, Sculthorpe, back inside, Newlove, still Newlove. Great strength from the big centre. That's how close St Helens are to the try line. Trying to give it some width now. Long to Martin, and Martin gives it to Nickel. Nickel trying to get away from Horn, he nearly did. The youngster stuck to his guns well, though. Across as reinforcements came Jean and Samet. This is Cunningham trying to nick one. Back it goes to Sculthorpe. And again, Stanley Jean is there to help with the defence. Cunningham looking for his own. Back it goes out the back door to Long. Long gets it away to his captain, but he's all wrapped up by Robinson, is Chris Joint. A drop goal attempt from Sean Long. He finds the mark. No, he doesn't.
Well, not a bad option. Well, congratulations to both sides. St Helens, they threw everything there. Superb rugby league football, but you've got to hand it. This whole side these days, their scrambling defence there was outstanding, especially the halfback Richard Horn, who went through 3 consecutive tackles to save the day. That's the spirit that we have on both sides. This has been a cracker.
Great contest, 35 minutes gone. We've news of the injured players from the sideline. Here's Bill.
Eddie, it looked bad for Mick Jenkins when he went down, but he's made a pretty miraculous recovery. He was jogging up and down the touchline just a minute ago, looking as though he is getting ready to come back on as Dave Maiden breaks.
Yes, Maiden's on the charge. Ball back inside to Collins, and Collins will score under the sticks. Wonderful try. Robinson set Maiden away. Maiden looked around, had support, and Collins is the man who's gone in for the Hull try. Terrific try from Hull. That was a classic rugby league counter-attack from Hull. and Steve Collins has scored a great try.
Boy, oh boy, they don't come much better than this. Look how Robinson goes right across the inside. The combination with Maiden has been outstanding, and he just delayed the inside pass. Full credit to the centre, Collins. He came at the very right moment. Superb play. You can't afford to let this guy just tease you across on the inside. He pulled Martin across. Maiden went through. The loose forward on the side to the centre. Wow, the Boulevard fans love that. So did I. Why not? Whoa!
Well, Steve Collins of Hull with the try. Ben Zammit has been faultless with the boot. And from bang in front, this should be 3 from 3. And it is. He's kicked the extras. And suddenly Hull have hit the front. That's better for Sean McRae. 14-12. Hull lead.
You see the man is coming across. Robinson will give the ball back on the inside. Absolutely outstanding. Maiden did the angle so superbly for Collins to read him. The body language was read okay by Collins.
Woo. Great try, and what a transformation in David Maiden this year. Centre for Gateshead in Super League 4, playing it loose forward so far this season, and he has had a blinder from the very first whistle.
Well, that's the third occasion that Robinson and the loose forward Maiden have combined. Up until that point, St Helens have had the upper hand in defence, but that was quite superb.
And they're running with a lot more confidence now. Hull. That's Dion Bird, who's had a try, remember, chalked off by the video referee. This is Wayne McDonald. Stanley Jean just losing his footing. Iro got the tackle in. Richard Horn to Robinson, who is again running the show for Hull. Lovely measured kick down the touchline.
Just settling things down.
Supreme talent, isn't he?
So experienced, Will Robinson. As we've just witnessed with the beautiful run across the face of the defence. Knows when to offload. As I mentioned, plenty of experience, been around a while, Balmain, South, Illawarra. He knows what it's all about. He's been a bit of a journeyman, but to be fair, what a great signing he is, and I'm sure that Sean McRae, you'll have him in cotton wool all the way through this season.
Makes this team tick, just as he made Gateshead tick with Willie Peters last year. Peters, of course, now at Wigan. Mick Jenkins is attempting to run his injury off and come back on. Here's Sean Long. Sculthorpe wide. Great tackle, though. Superb tackle from Adam Marr. Long. Well, they were hanging around and waiting for that. Perolini had nowhere to go. He ran into a brick wall that was coloured black and white.
Well, he was standing still with the prop forward, Perolini. He's got to move on to the football. He's such a big fellow.
Now Carney, the Irishman, on St Patrick's night. And he has got apparently plenty of friends from the Emerald Isle over here tonight to watch him, with a little piece of shamrock, no doubt, on their collar.
Been an amazing rise to stardom, hasn't it?
Held down in the play of the ball, and what's more, Kieran Cunningham disputing the decision.
Well, that's silly play on both occasions, and then just to open your mouth to the official, that doesn't help. Oh, that's big hits. He's lost it as Stanley Jean.
Yeah, lost the football. Joint has it back.
That's a bad mistake, but the impact was good. Cunningham low, Matautia. As soon as his shoulder got in there was no chance that Jean could get that.
That's much better defence there from Hull.
Well, this has been an outstanding first half from both sides.
Sculthorpe, he thought about just flicking the pass back as he fell. Cunningham from dummy half, Long down the right-hand side. Long picked up like a rag doll. That will be the last action of this first half, and what a first half it's been. Richard Horn has played his full part in it. St Helens ahead at one stage by 12 points to 2 with the 2 Paul Wellens try, but back came Hull with a Jenkins try, and then 5 minutes before the break, Collins with the try under the sticks, and Ben Zammit with the kick from bang in front has given Hull a 14 points to 12 advantage. But what a breathtaking try this is. Steve Collins, goaled by Zammit. It's 2 points that separate the sides half-time.
Football, centre stage this April on Sky Sports. These games matter. The plot thickens in the race for the Premiership. Semi-final drama from the FA and Scottish Cups.
That's an outstanding goal!
Fairy tales in the making from the First Division.
And Charlton finally taken the lead here.
International intrigue from across the water.
And it's Robbie Keane!
And for the next chapter in television, be in touch with the modern game with Sky Digital's revolutionary interactive service on Sky Sports Extra.
Would you believe it?
April on Sky Sports. Should be a thriller.
Create your own personal email addresses, absolutely free, at another.com.
When you need to go back to your family, and when you want to take your mother to church, when you're off on your holidays, and when it's time to come home again. As Britain's biggest used car retailers, Network Q is there to help you go wherever you want to go, whenever you want to go there.
Network Q, raising the standard in used car quality.
This week, I'll be mostly calling Holston Pills by another name. Adrian.
A rich revelation in taste. Black Gold from Nescafe. Taste it. Love it.
Nescafe.
To paint, first you must see. I've spent my whole life looking and analysing, studying form and light.
Step 1. Take shoulder through the full range of movement. Step 2. Loosen joints with gentle, controlled actions. Step 3. Open a nationwide current account with 24-hour internet banking and no day-to-day fees. This will add flexibility to your body and mind, wherever you are. Relax. It's nationwide.
Ah, coffee. Coffee. Cigarette. Cigarette. Coffee.
Sometimes willpower alone just isn't enough to stop you craving a cigarette. That's why there's Nicorette Microtab to pop discreetly under your tongue as and when you need it. Just one of 5 different ways we have to help relieve your cravings. Nicorette, where there's a will, there's a way.
Create your own personal email addresses, absolutely free, at another.com.
Two more football matches coming up for you Sunday over on Sky Sports 3. Manchester City take on top of the First Division Charlton, one of the most crucial games of the season this. And on Sky Sports 1, Everton take on Newcastle in another live Premiership match. If you're watching Sky Digital, you can catch both these games live and interactive only on Sky Sports Extra. Right now we have the Super League for you, and you know, in the last 2 years, St Helens have won all 4 meetings in Super League between these two sides, or these two clubs rather, but this is a totally different kettle of fish at the Boulevard this year. They lead by 14 points to 12, Jenkins and Collins, and the boot of Zammit cancelling out the tries from Wellens and the goals from Long. Sean McRae will be, I think, a little disappointed about the mistakes that gifted St Helens a couple of tries. And Ian Millwood, I wonder what he has made of his first 40 minutes as St Helens coach in the pressure cooker that is the Super League these days. 14 points to 12 at half-time. We have been saying since the very first weekend of this competition there will be no easy matches in Super League this year. Fabulous advert for the competition. Adrian Vowles, last year's Man of Steel, is alongside us from the Castleford Tigers. He's the captain. I think you're enjoying watching this.
Yeah, I'd rather watch it than playing it by the way the big hits are going there. But certainly has been a tale of, you know, two halves in the one half. But you know, the way Saints started, I thought they'd run away with it. But full credit to Hull, they've come back and got right back into the game.
I wonder if Hull were struggling a little bit to get to the pace after the events here last Saturday against Wigan. 12-2, St Helens were up, and it looked as though the game was going to go away from them, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, and it'll be interesting to see in the second half. You know, Saints have had the weekend off, and whether they'll be strong in the second half or not, it'll certainly tell.
Yeah, I wonder if it's better to have played a big match like they had here last week, Steve-O, against Wigan, or sit with your feet up, train and get ready for this. The next 40 minutes might give us one or two good answers.
Yeah, well, I think you'd have to say that for the favourites for the second half would have to be St Helens, because as Eddie's mentioned, it was a pretty tough game against Wigan by the Hull boys. But you've got to give them credit, they really did fight back. But this has been absolutely superb play. This is the mistake that, well, Sean McRae wouldn't like that, and neither would Daylight. It really was a boo-boo, and Iro makes the break, and it allowed Wellens to get in for the first of his two tries. It was another mistake yet again, only this time what Daylight could do on one wing, Carney could do on the other. And this was from the kick-off and from the resulting build-up. Beautiful kick. They don't come much better than that. That was superb there by Sean Long. Absolutely out of the tree there. That was sensational. Then they went close there. Collins made the break, and I thought he should have gone for that, but Maiden went from dummy half. It was a turnover. Then Carney made the break. And this really was good run from the Irishman, but it was just a little bit foolish to try to get the ball back. You could see there that Maiden had no chance to get on it. And again, we see the skills. We've said a lot about this youngster, 17 years of age. Robinson at the heart of things, the combination. Look at the step there. He's pretty strong as well. He tries to flick the ball back on the inside. He does not get a touch to it. But what on earth was Kieran Cunningham thinking here? Look, he just, oh yeah, I'll just kick it out. Misses it. And Robinson comes up with a try. At that point, St Helens were taking control of this match, but this was a cracker, wasn't it? The combination of Robinson and Maiden was superb. Now look how Maiden goes to the line. They get the tackle. He was denied on that occasion, but not on this. It was a cracker. Oh, superb stuff. This is another one where they disallowed the try. Now the video referee stated that Daylight was offside. It was a difficult one to call, but he didn't have to be called on this one. Look at that. You can't afford to let him go away. Martin followed Robinson back, and watch how Maiden gets back on the inside. Body language was quite superb. Collins, he knew exactly when to come in. It was a delayed pass from Maiden. It was quite superb. 3 or 4 times in that first 40 minutes you've seen the Robinson and Maiden combination, and it has been quite superb. If they can keep doing that, the big question is, I'm sure that the new coach at St Helens, Ian Millward, will be saying that you've got to make sure you get to the little halfback Robinson. They've got to close him down. If they don't, they're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Hull are running high on confidence, 3 wins from 4. St Helens 3 defeats from 4, Adrian. How much does that play a part in the second half that we're going to see now? One team on the up, one team with all the little nagging doubts.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. You know, Saints obviously haven't had a good start to the season, starting with the thrashing by Melbourne in the World Club Challenge, but I mean, they've got to start winning one day, and I think today they'd like today to be their day.
Well, indeed so, and there's a big 40 minutes coming up for both these sides. Have Saints got too much in the tank? Can Hull find that extra push from somewhere? Now, don't forget, the next Australian Rugby League for you from the National Rugby League of Australia comes exclusively from Brookvale Oval. It's the Northern Eagles against the Cronulla Sharks in the morning, Saturday at 10 a.m. over on Sky Sports 3. Join Chris Warren and Tony Ray for that tomorrow. But tonight, what a game we've got from the Super League. Super League 5 is going to glitter all the way through to the grand final on October the 14th. And this has been a magnificent first half. Hull have shaded it, though.
doubt it.
While some drivers play peekaboo, Mondeo drivers have the Ford Quick Clear electronic heat system, specially built into the windscreen. And it's standard. Clear enough? One more reason why 2.2 million families trust Mondeo.
Every time you use your American Express Blue Card, you earn money back to spend on whatever tickles your fancy.
Earlier, our designers spiced up this 17th century home with a fab new makeover. Oh, hope the owners like it. You can look now. Ta-da! What do you think?
How dare you! Our beautiful home! Yeah! Ish!
Hey, don't get heavy. Lighten up, everyone, with Toffee Crisp Pastas. The light, crispy chocolate bites. Best not show them the bedroom.
Ronseal quick drying varnish is touch dry in 20 minutes. So I waited 20 minutes, touched it, and guess what?
It was dry.
Yeah.
Ronseal. It does exactly what it says on the tin.
Tic-tac, tic-tac, tac.
Phoenix. New from Lynx.
No service charge. No voucher expiry. No peak hours. Just simple, straightforward value. Welcome to Simplicity, our new standard tariff. The simple pay-as-you-go from one.
He has deciphered a message written in the most sophisticated code the world has ever known. Not only is he 9 years old, he is autistic. You okay in there? I'm not gonna hurt you.
Bruce Willis.
Somebody pulled the cops off the kid at the hospital.
Alec Baldwin.
The NSA is willing to have this boy killed to protect the code? What agency do you work for? Who is this?
The first showing of Mercury Rising, Saturday at 8 on Sky Premiere. The biggest films every Saturday night, guaranteed.
Well, more championship boxing coming up for you on Sky Sports 1. Tonight from 9:30, another chance to catch last weekend's WBO World Featherweight clash between Prince Nazim and Voyani Bungu. Tomorrow night, live from 8:30, Brian Carr takes on Nadel Hussain for the vacant Commonwealth Super Bantamweight. And live on Monday night, Noel Wilders takes on Kamel Guerfi for the vacant IBO Bantamweight title. That's another 3 big nights of boxing coming up for you on Sky Sports 1. But at half-time, in this pulsating second-round match from the Super League, Hull 14, St Helens 12, just the 1 goal kick separating the two sides, and that's from the trusty boot of Ben Zammert. It's 2 tries apiece. Looked rather like Steve-O on a Saturday night. It does that. But I don't know whether he's quite that thin at the moment.
Don't think I'd limbo dance that flexible, actually.
Oh, I'm not so sure.
Certainly got rhythm.
Hull 14, St Helens 12. There's been a lot of rhythm in this match so far. And will the 2 weeks off for St Helens pay a heavy price? Can Hull keep the momentum going after that great cup tie against Wigan here 6 days ago? Horn collects the kick-off for Hull, looks around for a bit of support, and that was a heavy challenge came in on him from Cunningham. The young man is hurt. Looked around for someone to offload it to, and no one was willing to take it up, so he had to run at them like a forward.
He went very low, and Cunningham catches him with the shoulder. You see he goes right down. You're right, you can't call that a high shot. He just went straight into it, did the lad. But
might have been his thigh as well.
Full credit to him. He looked a bit dazed, but shook his head and got up and gets on with the game. He's receiving a bit of treatment on that ankle, but I think it'll be the marble spinning around in the head that will be the problem.
Stanley Jean is at dummy half. This is Will Robinson. Hull looking to take the game to Saints again. Adam Marr takes the tackle though. Gets to his feet. Jean, then to Robinson. He's the engineer-in-chief. High kick downfield. Underneath it is Chris Smith for St Helens. Great chase by Hull early in Millwood. Wonder what he's made of his first 40 minutes in the Super League. I think he will agree it's a bit of a step up from the Northern Ford Premiership. with all due respect to the teams playing in that particular competition, this is the big stuff.
Fast and furious. Well, he'll be happy with the opening 20 minutes, that is for sure. They really looked unbeatable, St. Helens, at that point. And oh,
Nichols dropped it.
It's a big hit as well. There's been a few of those. Oh, that's interference there, and you can see they're just spinning round and lost control. Well, it was mistakes from Hull very early in the first half. St. Helens have come up with their first one early in the second stanza.
This is Luke Felsh for Hull. Stanley Jean scurries into dummy half again, gets it away to the 6'7" frame of Wayne McDonald. He takes some stopping, makes a few more vital meters. Jean again finds Horn, fully recovered. On it goes to Robinson. Robinson looked to shape to pass it to Marr, then found Dion Bird. He's got daylight. Iro was waiting for him, and Iro cuts him down.
Experience there by the New Zealander, Kevin Iro. He was not going to be sucked into going across the line of defence. Hung around for the winger to come back.
Here's Adam Marr again. Hull inching towards that St. Helens line. Robinson under pressure from Cunningham. It's into open space, and St. Helens wait and wait again. Collins was hunting another try. The kick from Robinson just a bit too strong.
Real jack in the box there. He was put under a lot of pressure. That's why he didn't get the ideal kick away. St. Helens realised that certainly is the springboard for this Hull side. As we saw when he created that try just before the half-time break, they really have got to try to close Robinson down.
Right, let's go down to the touchline. Join Bill for all the half-time news.
Well, the word from the Hull camp is that they've really got to cut the errors out, and they got to grips with the game the longer the first half went on, and Sean McRae is looking for his team to really concentrate all the way through the next 40 minutes and to cut out errors like that. Well, a Saints error that was, straight into touch, and Ian Millward, the new Saints coach, is looking for them to have the sort of 10 minutes that they had at the start of the game when they were really on fire, but the longer the game went on, the more sloppy they got. So they really want to cut out the showcase stuff and play what they do best. The news briefly of Richard Horn, who's still out there but not moving particularly freely, and they are keeping an eye on the young scrum half for Hull.
Yes, I bet they are. Priceless commodity, still only 17 years of age. Such talent, and here he is on the football now. Good ball to Zammit. And it needed a good tackle from Sean Long. Here goes Carney. Across the field of play, met by a stiff challenge from Perolini.
But that surprised me, the way that St. Helens' defence was quite sluggish. They're hanging back. I think they're being confused by the crisscrossing of this whole passing. They've got to move forward, apply that pressure.
Good hands on show here from Hull. And here goes Maiden. Wrestled to the ground on that occasion by Cunningham. Jean again, filling in for the injured Jenkins. Was that a drop goal attempt?
A feeble one, yes. Not much power from Stanley on that occasion. Not a bad option at 14-12.
Well, Amanda, who is the former Second Division Player of the Year, a former First Division Player of the Year, and with 34 tries in 1998 was the leading scorer in the game, but not the best attempt at a one-pointer. This is Sean Long.
That was sloppy play by St. Helens, trying to release the ball. This is the attempt from Stanley.
It was a drop goal attempt, wasn't it?
Yeah. Not much power, but the idea was there.
Well, it looks like Stanley Jean will be staying on the field, providing he goes injury-free to the end of this match, because Mick Jenkins will not be returning, is the word from Bill Arthur on side.
Well, to be fair, Stanley Jean has done a good job since he's come off the bench. Helped tighten up the defence.
Here's Long. If Will Robinson is the man who sparks Hull into action, Sean Long is certainly the man who will spark St. Helens. That's a good chase led by Tommy Martin and his captain, Chris Joint.
Good kick too.
There's Carney.
It's going to be important in the second half, trying to conserve the energy.
Big hit from Cunningham on Carney there.
Whichever side gets control of the kicking game in open play, it'll make a lot of difference.
Daylight thought he was away, but Perolini got the tackle in. Stanley Jean comes this way and finds Broadbent. Jean once more. Robinson wide to McDonald. Big run from McDonald, and Tommy Martin had to be brave then. Robinson, little chip over the top, looking for the runners out wide. And it's gone. It's come up for them too. Well, that was so near a catastrophic decision in defence.
Comedy of errors there, and I'm not so sure that that was went backwards. The knock-on went backwards. I'm not right sure what Stuart Cummings pulled that one for.
Knock-on, I think.
Well, I didn't see one.
Sculthorpe running strongly, but Dion Bird getting to him. Here's Kevin Iro.
Iro's the sort of player that can just break through this pretty solid defence. He was a bit shaky the opening 20 minutes from Hull, but they've tightened that up. And the big fellas out wide, especially Iro, they need something special from the big guys.
And in back play, Matautier and Dion Bird are exchanging blows. Some Hull players are coming in to get involved. In the meantime, this is Chris Smith, and that's a try for Saints, unless the touch judge will call them back. There was a real fight going on in back play between Bird and Matautier. They were trading blows. Hull players rushed in to Bird's assistance. At the other end, Smith carried on, put the ball down over the line. Now here's a decision for referee Stuart Cummings and his two touch judges. I think that Bird was caught by Matautier as he got back to his feet to play the ball. Wasn't happy, clutched his head there. Well, Bird went down like a sack of potatoes.
Well, the only thing I can think of is that maybe there was a stray finger just well, there you can see. I think you'd have to say that Bird is on the losing end of Matautier. Matautier by a knockout, I think. I think the penalty will go because Matautier lashes out first.
Well, it's going to be no try. There's no doubt about this. The whole incident's going on report.
Well, there's only the full-back that played to the whistle, apart from Chris Smith, of course.
On the report.
Well, this will be no try.
Let's hear what the referee has to say.
An exception to, and both sides fight it. Now, the official, the first offence was by St Helens. All right, so straight away the try is disallowed. We're going with the penalty here. Now, both players going in the sin bin. Okay, wait there, please. Wait there, please. All right, Villa.
Two players are on the way to the sin bin. Villa, Matautier and Dion Bird will take 10 minutes to calm down. The try is disallowed. The whole incident's on report, and it's a penalty to Hull. Well, these touch judges and referees have to have eyes in the back of their heads.
Well, the touch judge certainly helped on this occasion. I know one thing, Dion Bird would be quite happy. He was wearing the skull cap.
That's right.
At least it did soften quite a few of the blows from Matautier, who, well, impressed me with the right uppercut.
Well, Dion Bird is continuing the discussion with Matautier on the St Helens bench.
A bit of claret coming out of Dion Bird's head.
No wonder.
Not surprising. Well, I think the officials have done the right thing. A lot of people say that you shouldn't use the sin bin for fighting, but that's what it's there for. They've sinned.
So they've binned.
Yeah, calm things down. Well, a bit smile from Matautier.
Well, that's what it all comes down to now. 14-12, and we've had 8 minutes of the second half.
Back to football, boys.
Game didn't need an interception. Here goes Newlove. Now has he got the pace?
No.
Terrific chase here from Carney again. Carney gets to him. He's not held. It's a try, is it?
Yes.
Is Newlove on the line? It'll be a decision for the video referee.
He was not stopped. This is a try. It's a wonderful effort by the big centre, Paul Newlove. They did not halt his progress. This is quite superb.
Such strength.
They were there in numbers. I think that's on the line. Or is it? Oh, it might be short. You might be right, Eddie. Well, he didn't have the pace. Carney got back to him, the Irish flyer, but he did not halt the progress. It's whether he gets it on the line or is he short. This will be... Oh, I'd give that as a try.
How can you if he's not touched the line? On that, it doesn't look like he's touched the line.
But will the movement forward get him to the line? He doesn't appear to move the left arm.
Blimey, what a night to be a video referee this is.
Now, watch if he moves the left arm. First impact is short. I think that's a try. The momentum has taken him over. It's just like sliding over on a wet day.
He's certainly not a double movement, no doubt.
This will be TRY for mine. Well, he read it well. It was an inside pass, and the big fella said, I'm away. And Brian Carney will be kicking himself. He got to him, but the big fella had the upper body strength to continue on. TRY. Oh, dearie me today.
Well, it just shows you he was held short of the line, so it's first tackle to St Helens. They've got 5 more attempts here, and this is Nicol. No try, and if you wanted conclusive proof that Steve-O has no influence on the video referee, my word, you've had it tonight. St Helens then, looking for a try that's been denied them. Nicol. Hull scrambling in defence. That's 3 tackles gone. They dropped it.
Played it forward.
Dropped it, played it forward, and everything.
Disallowed. You can't do that these days. It has to go backward. The officials allowed it.
Saints in possession.
Controversy all over the place.
Allowed to carry on. Newlove offloads as he falls. Ball is hacked forward. Hull have got it back. Craig Simon replaces Richard Horn. Daylight gets tackled by Nicol. Well, I said in the first half, don't take your eyes off the screen, because this is going to boil all the way to the 80th minute.
This is a play of the ball. It went forward. Still he walked over, but the rule states.
Yeah,
a lot of people think. Well, I suppose people would say it was accidental, but sometimes you get accidental high tackles.
Jean to Robinson, left-footed. Oh, Nicol got to him a bit late. Kick over the top, but it's not a 40-20, but it's a great clearing kick from Will Robinson just the same, turning St Helens around.
Nicol put him under a lot of pressure. He committed himself, nothing wrong with that. But it's come up trumps. He knows how important it is to ensure things just calm down. They're the side that have that 2-point advantage.
And they're the side with a lot of football under their belt over the past week. And St Helens have had 2 weeks to prepare for this, albeit with a new coach only for the last 4 or 5 days. We've seen that Richard Horn is off the field. St Helens are in possession with their try-scorer Paul Wellens. Let's get news of Richard Horn. Bill?
It's worrying for the Hull FC point of view, because Horn's so much a star in their performance against Wigan, and quite an influence tonight. Has limped off with what looked like a knee injury. He kept going, and was that a risky strategy, because he seemed to aggravate it, and he's been replaced. Tony Grimaldi looks as though he'll be returning for Hull very shortly. They've got him warming up on the sidelines, and that'll be a welcome sight for Hull. Grimaldi out for a long time with a neck injury.
Yes, he's had surgery on the neck, has Tony Grimaldi. And he's a little bit ahead of schedule, but he's about to come back. Referee's blown the whistle. Knock on has gone against Saints. And Kevin Iro judged to have knocked on here.
Yep, just lost it. Or did he?
Well, his hand was on it, but the ball was on the deck.
It's a sure that he lost control of that. Well, this really has been one tough encounter. Played in a wonderful spirit, apart from the little melee we had a few moments ago that saw Bird and Matauti get 10 minutes in the sin bin.
Welcome sight for Hull. Grimaldi has come on. Packed down there at loose forward. David Maiden then presumably will move to the centre. And here is Maiden, and nearly through. Martin clawing at him, but there's the club captain, Tony Grimaldi, and Sean McRae will be well pleased to see him on the field.
It's always a dangerous operation anywhere in the spine region, and it's so good to see Tony Grimaldi back on the paddock.
Stanley Jean, back it goes to Robinson. There is Zammit. Here is Craig Simon. Picked up and dumped by Perellini. Last tackle here for Hull. Stanley Jean, Robinson. It's the bomb, it's the midfield bomb. Great take. Super take by Steve Collins.
Bit of turnover, but what a great kick from Robinson, and Collins yet again coming into his own. He's had a fine match as a centre, Collins.
Well done, Sullivan, as well. He stuck to him like glue.
He knew he'd beaten...
Mind you, I think Collins caught Sullivan and the ball.
Well, he had been beaten for the football, but had the presence of mind to get back and ensure that the tackle was completed.
Cunningham scurries away again. Great run from the St Helens hooker.
So strong, isn't he? And those are valuable metres forward. Big problem for Saints, though, is that Hull are slowing the game down. You can see there that messing around at the play of the ball, it has not been picked up by the official. St Helens like a quick play of the ball.
Here's Long. Remember, both sides down to 12 men. We have 2 in the sin bin, 1 from each side. Martin hoists the kick. A tester here for Carney. He's dropped it.
Ooh. Knock on is... Well...
Yeah, he's right. The ball went forward first and then went back.
Well, it's been a nightmare, hasn't it? Yeah. It's been a nightmare for the 2 wingers, Matt Daylight and Brian Carney. Oh, dearie me. Well spotted by Stuart Cummins. Bill Arthur mentioned just after half-time that Sean McRae's just cut out these silly mistakes, and that certainly was one. Will they pay the price?
St Helens 10 metres away with Martin. Now here's Wellens. He fancies a hat-trick, does the young fullback. Tommy Martin at dummy half. The big fella, Iro, decisive try against Bradford Bulls at Old Trafford last year to win the grand final for St Helens. They're the champions. They're behind by 2 points. They've squandered a 12-2 lead. That came off a Hull man. It could be back to 0 on the tackle count, but this is Long. Saints will think about that in a moment once this tackle is made on Joint.
Good tackle by Collins, read it perfectly on the skipper from St Helens.
And the referee keeps the tackle count moving, so it didn't hit a Hull hand. Cunningham gets to his feet. Joint, back it goes to Long, looping pass, looking for Sculthorpe. Back on the inside, too elaborate. Pedalini put it down. Grimaldi has it for Hull. This is Maiden. And it's going from one end to the other, this game. Pulsating stuff. Great game.
Big hit there by Tommy Martin. Back on the inside, Perolini, and they just stopped. It allowed Grimaldi to get Maiden away. They did well, Saints, to come back. The scrambling defence was great.
Collins gets to his feet. Stanley Jean is the dummy half.
Another Cumberland throw by Tommy Martin.
This time on Wayne McDonald. Here's Robinson. Hull are rolling forward. Broadbent hit that at pace. Cunningham did well.
Good job that Cunningham went high.
Robinson again now. Saw a little gap. Quickly closed by Tuilangi.
There's been some heroic efforts by the players out there from both sides in defence.
A kick slipped through by Craig Simon. Wellens read it perfectly.
You can't fault him, can you? His positional play, superb yet again. It must impress that man Ian Millward, the new coach.
Desperate to get off to a winning start. The most toughest of places to come to face a former St Helens coach in Sean McRae and this revitalised Hull side.
Now then, who can dig the deepest? That's what it's going to boil down to. It's been a tough encounter out there. And it's in the big boys up front. It's the pack that's going to lead them the way. The half break by the forwards. There's plenty of pace out there from both sides to take advantage of that. But you get the feeling, Eddie, that it'll be a mistake, a missed tackle that'll create it.
Awesome pace from Iro. And he sold the dummy, but he's been forced into touch. Super defence again from Hull. Iro's elbow over the whitewash. Great defence this time from Daylight.
Well, he came up with a vital mistake in that first half, but that was a superb tackle. It meant that his side have possession. It's ticking away. Only 2 points in it. Surely there's got to be a break. Newlove had the opportunity and certainly took it, but they went against him. They said he was a no try. Dubious decision, perhaps. There'll be a lot of talk about that after this match.
A drive in is by Luke Felsh. Stanley Jean to the big man McDonald. Such a difficult figure to put down. Look to offload, no support. Last tackle here for Hull. It's with Stanley Jean. Now it's with Robinson. Little dab over the top. Oh, there's chasers here. There's chases for Hull, and it's a good job that Sullivan got there. He brought Carney to ground.
He's made a mistake. Sullivan has come up with a big blooper. This could change the match.
3 metres from the line with Robinson. Robinson disappears under Matautia's challenge.
It was a big one too.
Stanley Jean, Hull sensing something. Felsh spinning but hitting the ground after the tackle from Martin. Stanley Jean again. Here's Broadbent, tackled by Tuilangi. Releases the ball, and Kieran Cunningham and St Helens breathe a sigh of relief.
Trying to be too clever there, the big prop forward, Paul Broadbent. Got a lot of attention around him and trying to get the ball away. Oh, that's a dodgy one. Tuilangi, they're all at it now. But this is a boo-boo from Sullivan. They've got away with it. He'll be pleased. And this, you see, Broadbent trying to get it away. Tuilangi got the hand in, went backwards. This is turning out into a real arm wrestle. Who has got the most strength? Who's got the stamina to last it? They must be out on their feet, both of them.
Booming kick downfield from Sean Long. Zammit has to collect on his own line. Hoppy just on the field leads the chase and gets to Zammit, but he made 20 metres before the tackle was complete.
Good substitute by Ian Millwood there. Bring on fresh legs. Hoppy, an experienced player, just could be the difference. Those fresh pair of legs just can get that break.
And here comes Luke Felsh again for Hull. No, I beg pardon, it's Tony Grimaldi. Haven't seen much of him this season. This now is McDonald again. He ran all over the top of Hoppy.
I think Hull are quite happy to stick it out. Not the best pass though.
Robinson, Simon, they've got away with it. Dion Bird, high kick because it was on the last. Zammit's after it, and Zammit's claimed it. Now he is tackled, and the movement comes to naught.
Well, again, having problems with the high kick from Robinson, and on that occasion from Bird, should I say. But again, St Helens scrambling defence is equal to it. Hyro makes the break.
Simon got to him. Quick play the ball. Chris Smith. Quiet tonight, Chris Smith. And it's not really been the night yet for the three-quarters to show their worth. It's been a real war of attrition up front. And here comes Sculthorpe now. Stabs it into open territory. Zammit is there to sweep up.
Good positioning by Ben Zammit. Wasn't a bad little option as well from the loose forward, Paul Sculthorpe. Oh, the mistake! Was it reefed out, or did he just lose it? I think he just lost it.
St Helens in possession with Cunningham. Here's Sculthorpe. On it goes now to Long. Long looking for the opening, and Long has conjured it up. Long will score behind the posts. Sean McRae knows his men have come up with a blunder, and against the Saints, you cannot afford to give them that sort of opportunity so close to the line. Millwood hands an instruction down to the pitch, but Sean Long has scored his first try of Super League 5, and Saints wrestle the lead back once again.
Well, St Helens must think it's Christmas. And it's Carney that's come up with a mistake. It's been a nightmare for both the wingers, Daylight and Carney. They really have become Father Christmas, these two wingers for St Helens. Yet again, a mistake has allowed St Helens to go in front. You take your opportunities, and Sean Long certainly did this. He poaches what could be the winning try.
23 years of age, Sean Long, right behind the sticks. And Sean McRae knows that you cannot give Sean Long opportunities like that. So he tries to improve matters, makes no mistake from bang in front, and the lead has swung again in St Helens' favour this time. Hull 14, the champions 18.
Well, they look dispirited, and you can see that the defence is sucked in. They pulled through, nothing they could do about it. Sean Long had the pace. They just run out of numbers. They look somewhat dispirited. The scrambling defence from Hull has been so good, and yet Carney comes up with another mistake.
Well, tonight at the Boulevard, Sean Long has passed the 700-point mark for St Helens. From Wigan via Widnes, he arrived at St Helens. What a prize asset he now is to this club.
Certainly knows how to poach the try. But what must be going through the mind of Sean McRae, the Hull coach? They really have gifted so many opportunities to St Helens.
Who's your man of the match? 09, 009, 10, 10, 13. We're inviting your votes now. Remember, you're looking for the name of the man who will be chosen by the losing coaching staff. And the prize for you is a couple of tickets to the grand final. The man of the match goes home with the watch.
Well, you could
you've got about 16 and a half minutes to cast your vote, and I don't know which way it will go yet.
Still plenty of life out there, but you could see the tension from the crowd when Matt Daylight was going for that kick.
Well, it's been one of those nights, as you say, for the wingers. Felsh gets to his feet. Jean looks wide and finds the big fellow, Andrew Hick, just on. Last tackle. Jean goes right this time and finds Robinson. He slides the kick over the top. Sullivan is content to let that find touch. Carney was breathing down his neck. Another good kick from Will Robinson.
I think it was just over the 40, so this will be a St Helens head and feed. Only about a metre in it. Well, he's the man that can certainly get Hull back into the frame to be leading. They're only 4 points adrift, and Sean McRae been riddled by injuries. First losing Mick Jenkins and then the youngster Richard Horne. Certainly hasn't helped the cause.
So Long will feed the scrum, get the possession inevitably, and give it to Paul Sculthorpe, who didn't stand in the scrum then. Operating at stand-off at the moment.
Sensible rugby league football, that's all that's needed by St Helens. Make sure that they play out the complement of 6. Make sure the kick and chase game is good, because this whole side will not throw in the towel, that is for sure.
Sean Long has gone for the big booming kick downfield, looking for a 40-20. It bounces on this very, very hard surface, and Long has come up with the 40-20. His team will get head and feed at this scrum. Terrific kick from Long. Great tactic.
Look at that, 32 metres. What a wonderful time to come up with this 40-20, give them the chance for the possession. He knows how important that is. Tremendous rule. Not many clubs sort of utilise it enough.
Well, St Helens have, and can they capitalise on it now? Sculthorpe takes the first tackle. Newlove. He is Wellens. Wellens to within a couple of metres of the line. Hoppy! Held by the Hull defence, who are scrambling now for their lives. Long again. Back up the middle it goes with Perolini. He offloads to Tuilangi. Great strength from Tuilangi. Still St Helens, 5 metres from the line. They're going wide with Joint. Joint scores! Chris Joint with the try. A captain's knock again from Chris Joint. And Ian Millwood, was that a little smile I saw on his face? Has he just got his first win as St Helens coach? Has Sean McRae seen his side lose their second match in the Super League? Joint with the try.
We said it was important. Let's watch it again. 32 metres. It was always going to beat the winger. It did, and from it, the captain's knock. They're out on their feet now, Hull. They're tiring badly. The mistake allowed Long to put them in the front. Captain courageous Chris Joint starting to rub the salt in the wounds now. It's a test of character from Hull. They need to fight back very quickly. And what an important kick this is.
Try number 95 of Chris Joint's professional career. And what a priceless one it might be for Ian Millwood, the new coach of St Helens. And Sean McRae knows his battered and tired troops are up against it now in the closing moments. But as Steve-O says, this is a big kick from Sean Long. This to just stretch the lead still further. Hits the post. Bounces back the wrong way from St Helens' point of view. But 22-14, Hull still have to score twice.
There you see, they've got the overlap already on that blind side, and once that defender moves out, it left an enormous gap, and Joint gleefully accepts.
Okay.
That's the importance of the 40-20. Saves a lot of hard work from the forwards when you've got the ability to be able to turn the game around like that. And Chris Joint, he'll be pleased. I'm sure that the new coach Ian Millwood will be feeling exactly the same way.
Well, 12 minutes or thereabouts for Hull to get back into this match. The champions 12 minutes away from their first win in Super League 5. Amazing after that demolition job by Bradford at Knowsley Road a fortnight ago. They slipped in the betting for the retention of their title. There's something like 12-1 now, which is quite amazing really, considering that Saints began the season as defending champions. Long will examine the Hull defence again. Pass to Perellini. Bird got to him. Can't wrap the football up though. Nicol gets it.
Well, they're the right tactics. St Helens keeping this ball alive. They know that Hull are tiring, and it won't help matters. And that's just a little bit too long. Relief there for the Hull side, but that man Sean Long has started to dictate things.
Comes back to the 20-metre line for a tap restart by Hull. Jean gets it away to David Maiden. That's good defence, and Neil is there, and Sean Hoppy there to haul Maiden back a few more metres. Andrew Hick now.
Well, there's still plenty of time, 11 minutes remaining.
There is in this match the way it's gone tonight. Luke Felch for Hull. Dropped by Chris Joint. Jean again.
Well, this game has had everything, hasn't it? A bit of controversy, a bit of a punch-up, and some outstanding tries.
And Simon, oh, brilliant hands! Dion Burr! Hull aren't done yet.
Magic to watch. Both sides really have put themselves about today.
Bird is injured, he just managed to play that ball. Robinson, angled kick. Nobody wants it. Back it goes, he is Maiden again, and Maiden saw there was space out wide for Carney. Oh, if he'd have took that, he could have scored.
Well, a relieved Anthony Sullivan there. Maiden realised that Sullivan was out of position, and the wing had the opportunity. I think that was an accidental trip.
John Stankiewicz was the St Helens player involved.
And you could see there that Sullivan had decided he wasn't going to go for the football.
Wasn't an Irish jig on St Patrick's night for Brian Carney, was it?
Certainly wasn't.
Cunningham, such strength. Oh, they're trying it all now, but it's risky once more. And Stankiewicz was the bravest, and the youngster has received a bang there.
Well, they don't need that sort of play.
No, St Helens are ahead, aren't they?
22-14, it's safely. Not so much softly, because you can't say that about the way that Hull are still defending, but they really have to be intelligent now, and that's a beautiful kick.
He's gone for it again. This time, though, the ball just skipped the other way.
But look at this chase. They really are applying the pressure. They've taken the lead. This is a professional job by St Helens.
Maiden for Hull, he saw the gap. Just held onto the shirt collar was Julian O'Neill. Carney in field, onto Robinson. Robinson gets to his feet, must be worn out. Jean, wide it goes to Felch. Stankiewicz on for Apollo Perellini. All the Saints subs now used up, so they go with what they have out there on the field till the end of this match. Ball has come out, and O'Neill has claimed it back for St Helens.
McDonald desperately trying to get the ball away, and he's come up with a knock-on. This really should be up the jumper time now, nothing silly. They've got Sean Long behind them, just forcing them, the forwards, to get involved. He'll come up with a kick after the first of these 5.
Only Chris Joynt, tackled by Collins. Cunningham off the ground to Tuilangi. And Tuilangi is away from one. Oh, he ran all over the top of Stanley Jean. Grimaldi got the tackle in. Saints are swarming forward now. This is Long. He got it away to Sculthorpe. He disappears under a flying challenge.
Good tackle by Craig Simon.
Last one. Long slides the kick in, tried to get behind David Maiden. Maiden plucks it out of the air. Back will come Hull for another go.
Well, the Hull players out there, they've played themselves to a standstill, especially the loose forward, David Maiden. But the power and the strength and the skill factor from St Helens, okay, you have to point to the fact that Hull have gifted Saints many of opportunities. That's the difference between the two sides, but full credit to both sides. The players really have put on a tremendous effort tonight.
Yes, they have. This is MacDonald. Brian Carney is in the background there, receiving more treatment. I wonder who your man of the match is. Was that out on the full? No, it wasn't.
He was desperate for a 40-20 there. Oh, I'm not so sure. That hit the line. Well, the touch judge thought otherwise. That definitely hit the whitewash. If that didn't hit the whitewash, then Newloff's try must have been a mile away. The one that was disallowed. Now then, do you knock on then?
No, it bounced off a heel. I think here goes Iro. Trying to expose a tired defence, but Collins did well. There's Newloff once more. Zamet's all over him.
You really have got to admire the way that this tiring Hull defence is scrambling back. Remember, it was a very, very tough game against Wigan last week.
And they've had another bruiser here against the champions of the Super League.
They certainly have. One thing is for sure, both these sides have made it quite clear that they are in the running.
Sculthorpe will score a try. Great strength from Sculthorpe. The try is given, and Paul Sculthorpe could be a big day for him, because we heard earlier that his partner is in hospital tonight and expecting the birth of their first child. And Sculthorpe, I think he'll be taking home winning money tonight.
He's had a big game. He's worked hard. He deserved that. A tiring defence. He took the opportunity, shouted on it on the blind side. Good work from the hooker, Cunningham. He knew that the loose ball was going to be around. That's sheer strength and determination. Fully deserved. When you're against a tiring side, you take your opportunities. They've certainly done that. It was no fluke that Cunningham worked the blind side with this fella.
Great quality from the Great Britain international. He ended last year at standoff, got a try in each of the last 4, and significantly he's operating as a standoff right at this moment for St Helens. Now Sean Long, to add the extras, missed with his conversion attempt a few minutes ago from a similar situation as this. Can he add 2 more points? Slides it over this time, and I think that's the match for the champions. 28 points to 14, and Sean McRae, although his team are 80 minutes away from the Challenge Cup final, knowing the important business of Super League, Hull could be found wanting.
There you see the tired defence, not moving forward, took the full advantage of it. They went the open side, 2-on-1, but he didn't need it. The upper body strength was sufficient. He'll be pleased, and rightly so.
Yes, a great start to his new coaching life at Knowsley Road. And the ball was touched in flight by the Hull man.
Desperate
Steve Collins tried to keep it in.
Just couldn't do it. Head and feed to St Helens. Well, he's tried hard. Steve Collins scored a magnificent try. Probably one of the highlights of this game, but Boy, it's been tough out there.
Well, surely St Helens will be in no great hurry now. Hoppy just hangs on. They've got 3 minutes left. The match is theirs. Question now of by how many as O'Neill takes the tackle.
Cunningham just organising things there, making sure that nothing goes astray. He reads the game well. It's a good opportunity now for St Helens to perhaps put on a planned move.
Sculthorpe with the chip through, looking for Chris Joint, and Joint has got it back. The referee says play on. In fact, it was touched in flight by a Hull hand. So St Helens have 6 more here with Sculthorpe. This tired Hull defence faces more examination.
Well, he must have deemed that it was reefed away from him. Chris Joint looked like a knock-on.
Not the best ball.
That's what we call a hospital pass.
And it was forward as well.
And Mr. Tuilagi will say, excuse me, Mr. Long, could we perhaps not do too many of those? I'm not saying that Mr. Tuilagi has got a great career in the modelling stakes, but wouldn't help him receiving passes like that.
Dion Bird through one. Can't get away from Paul Sculthorpe. Robinson's tried hard. So has David Maiden. Minute and a half to go. St Helens with their first victory as champions under their belts. Jean. Stanley Jean back on the inside it goes. Carney! Carney steps out of another challenge. And another challenge. And Carney will score for Hull. Oh, that's soft defence, but a wonderful run from the Irishman, Brian Carney. And now he can do a little jig, maybe. Brian Carney all the way down the touchline. Stepped through challenge after challenge, brushed them aside, and went over behind the posts. 4th try of the campaign.
Well, you've got to give credit where credit's due. Stanley Jean back on the inside, and Carney, who's come up with a couple of mistakes, but this certainly is a wonderful effort from the winger. Amazing, this guy didn't know a forward pass from a Shillelagh 2 or 3 years ago. Here he is scoring tries like that. And that was a great effort. See how Paul Newland was just plucked across. He had to follow Stanley Jean. He switched the ball to the right hand so he could fend off with the left. That's a fine effort, but I'm afraid it's far too late. It's just consolation.
Zammit adds the extras from bang in front, so the lead is reduced by 6. 28-20. St Helens will go home with the points. Brian Carney, the try to make up for the disappointment of earlier mistakes, but you saw there the expression on the Irishman's face when the final siren sounded. Sean Long's try and goals and Joint's try at the end proving crucial. And St Helens, the champions, have got a win under their belts in round 2 of Super League. 28-20. Great game though at the Boulevard. We'll announce the man of the match when we return.
British tribes. People who yearn to be part of something big.
Caravanning could only be British.
To be one of many with a common dream.
Yeah, brilliant. Let's get married to football and then divorce them and get all their money.
Somehow they find each other.
It is an Englishman's God-given right to tow his house behind him.
And now we found them.
It is definitely my ambition to become a footballer's wife.
A brand new series, British Tribes, Sunday at 10, Sky 1.
At Tesco, we're determined to sell for less.
Excuse me.
Yes, madam.
I found this old till receipt, and I noticed that a lot of the things I bought last year actually cost less today. Look, that's 16p cheaper, that's 6p less, and there's 24p off these.
So we've cut prices on another 1,000 favourite products to be permanently low.
So how can I help?
Well, it's obvious, isn't it? I don't want them at these prices.
You don't?
I want them at next year's prices.
Just as well we're already working on them. Tesco. Every little helps.
Back in a mo.
Introducing a toilet paper unlike any you've felt before. New Charmin Ultra. Other brands might be smooth. New Charmin Ultra's unique micro pockets mean it's the most absorbent paper and stays stronger when wet, giving you a comfortable, clean feeling every time. Nothing beats the comfortable, clean feeling of New Charmin Ultra.
Tetley's bitter. Smoothly does it.
Yeah, don't go down yet.
Right, brilliant.
Right, come on, you lot, back inside.
A house isn't just a house, it's your home. That's why at Your Move, we've made buying and selling your home easier. To find out how, call, click, or come in.
Clearasil, face the facts. An independent institute has conducted a survey amongst teenagers for Clearasil. The results were surprising. After just 8 weeks of washing twice daily, 9 out of 10 teenagers using Clearasil Complete rated its effectiveness at fighting spots as good or very good. Clearasil Complete, all you need to help beat spots.
Brentford get new reserve keeper. Property shares set the rise. Bargain Mercedes in the classifieds. Great news for Sagittarians.
Want to treat all your customers as individuals?
Message for Mr. Tufty from Bunnykins.
With BT's e-business solutions, you can.
Wow, that was some match, and the champions have won it by 28 points to 20. Now, Paul Wellens, with his 2 tries in the first half, caught the eye of the Hull coaching staff. He's the man of the match. He wins the Tissot watch. Here he is with Bill.
Paul, congratulations, man of the match. There's the watch that goes with it.
I'd just like to thank Tissot. Thanks very much.
That was a hard game.
Yeah, it was very, very tough, you know. There's been a lot of goings on around the club, so it was important that the players remain professional and just got on with the job, and we did that tonight.
Well done to Paul Wellens. He's the man of the match. We'll tell you who is our prize winner for the man of the match competition in a moment or two. But first of all, let's hear from Ian Millwood, the New St Helens coach, off to a winning start.
Ian, feeling of relief after that?
Oh, it's always good to get the first one away, but more so the club and the players getting their first win of the season in the league.
Quite a baptism, quite an initiation into Super League, wasn't it?
Yeah, oh, well, this is what it's all about, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's a very intense competition and very level at the moment. But no, the players handled very well. There's no panic there, and they come away very well.
They put you through the mill a bit at times, didn't they?
Oh, they do. You know, there's a lot of talent there, and sometimes they want to show it too early instead of building a little bit of pressure at times. But that'll come with time. Don't worry.
And Bill Sampson is also a winner tonight. He's from Derbyshire, and he's on his way to Old Trafford for the grand final on October the 14th, and perhaps he will take a few of his friends with him into the VIP box if his name comes out of the draw later in the season. Fantastic match, though, at the Boulevard, wasn't it? Saints won it in the end by a narrow margin, 8 points. It's a good job these Super League players are fit, because that was played at some pace. Adrian Vowles, man of steel, 99, Castleford Tigers captain, with us all night. Gee whiz, that was a good game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very ferocious, the tackling. You could feel it up here in the box, but, you know, full credit to Saints. Like I said at half-time, I think they had the extra legs in the second half and they came away with a win.
They'll be relieved that they've got that one out of the way, won't they?
I'm sure Ian Millwood's very relieved too. I mean, as I said, a lot of pressure on him, and, you know, they've got their first win, and, you know, they're on even par with everyone else now.
That's right, they can now kick on, and Ian Millwood, Steve-O, has seen what Super League is like at first hand. One or two telling little comments there with Bill. That'll come in time, he said. We'll sort it out. He knows what he needs.
Yeah, well, he said that they panicked somewhat at certain times, but I must say that they fully deserve to win in the end, because it's all about taking your opportunities. Though I must say, Sean McRae, the whole coach, he'll be saying that Santa Claus came quite early, because those 3 mistakes really were bad mistakes. It was Daylight that gave Wellens the first try, then Carney came up with a mistake which gave Wellens his second try, and of course the most crucial one was when Carney lost the ball yet again, which allowed the opportunity for Sean Long to go in for that vital try. Once St Helens headed the whole side, there was never going to be any doubt as to who was going to be the winner, but it just shows that, you know, all that effort is not going to be enough. It was a frenetic pace, absolutely wonderful game, but it just goes to show you that it's going to be very, very difficult for all the teams.
Very difficult indeed. Let's hear what Sean McRae has said about it all. He's now with Bill.
Sean, that's brought you down to earth with a big bump, hasn't it?
Yeah, thoroughly outplayed by St Helens. They deserve the victory. I think that we helped hand it to them. Our completions of our sets of 6 were dreadful. I thought we defended well in patches, but not well enough at, you know, when we had to be desperate. And certainly it's a poor result for us, and a result that you know, has got us on the back foot a little bit, and has got the guys doing a fair bit of soul searching.
And not the best preparation for a Challenge Cup semi-final.
Oh, well, I don't know whether we should turn up or not now. You know, I'm concerned about that. I think that maybe we should just write Leeds a letter and say, you know, if we're going to play like that, we can't beat anyone. That was dreadful tonight. We're really poor. There's a lot of work needs to be done in a week, but you'd like to hope we could improve on that performance and maybe just go back to a similar way that we played last week.
Psychological mind games being played by Mr. McRae already, bearing in mind the Challenge Cup semi-final next week. But no team, Adrian, can afford to lose 2 on the bounce in Super League this year, and you're in that similar situation the weekend, aren't you?
Yeah, we've got a hard game against Salford. You know, they played very well last week and lost, so, but, you know, we've definitely got to bounce back and have a win. We played well in patches against Wigan, but we didn't play the full 80 minutes.
Well, Hull are on the back foot in Super League, but Steve-O, despite what Sean says, good signs here at the Boulevard.
Oh, without a doubt, but they've got to stop getting those boxes out and putting ribbons around it, because they can't give gifts like that. It's a simple fact that if you give mistakes away, you're going to end up losing.
OK, hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have from the Boulevard. Next up, it's the Northern Eagles against Cronulla in the morning, 10 a.m, Sky Sports 3, latest from the NRL, and then look what we have for you Sunday night. That is a mouth-watering clash. Wigan against Leeds Rhinos, Sunday 6:30, Sky Sports 1. Till then, from all of us here, it's good night from the Boulevard.
The Uniball Trophy. It began back in October. 16 teams brimming with title ambitions. 54 games have been played. 2 have made it all the way to the final. The London Towers.
It's a team effort. You're not going to stop.